I lied about being assaulted, and I can't take it back now. That's the truth. That's my dirty, rotten confession. I was 18 when it happened, and now I'm 22. But the lie has stretched across years, like a shadow I can't step out of. Families were destroyed. A man lost everything. My mom looks at me like I'm a survivor, when really, I'm just a fraud. People always say, the truth will set you free. But what if the truth only chains you tighter? Back then, I was just a kid pretending to be an adult. I was insecure, shy, and angry at the world. My dad wasn't around much, and my mom worked 2 jobs, so I kind of grew up craving attention wherever I could get it. And then there was him. Let's call him Mark. He wasn't blood family, but he might as well have been. He was my mom's best friend's husband, which meant he was around all the time. Barbecues, Christmas dinners, summer camping trips. He was the fun uncle kind of guy, always cracking jokes, bringing me little gifts when I was a kid. Everyone trusted him. Everyone loved him. That's why the lie stuck. Because when I said his name, people didn't doubt me. They rallied around me instantly. But let me back up. At 18, I was a mess. I'd just gotten dumped by my first boyfriend. I felt invisible at school. And worse, I had this boiling anger I couldn't name. Every time my mom would say, "Honey, Mark and Sarah are coming over for dinner," I'd roll my eyes. Not because of him, really, but because it was one more reminder that my mom adored their family, more than she seemed to adore me. That's not an excuse. I'm not trying to justify what I did. I just need you to understand the headspace I was in. I was desperate. Desperate to be seen. Desperate for control. Desperate for anything to make me feel important. The night it happened wasn't planned. That's what makes it worse. It was stupid. I was at a sleepover with a couple of friends, and we were swapping stories. You know the kind. Craziest thing that ever happened to you. Your biggest secret crush. Stuff like that. Someone said something like, "What's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you?" And before I even thought, the words just slipped out. I was assaulted. The room went dead quiet. My friends' eyes widened. They leaned in closer, suddenly hanging on my every word. And instead of backtracking, instead of saying, "Just kidding," I doubled down. And when they asked who, I panicked. I wanted someone believable, someone they'd recognize, someone who would make the story sound real. So I said Mark. I'll never forget the way their faces changed. Pity, shock, rage. And for the first time in months, maybe years, I felt powerful. People were looking at me, caring about me, asking me questions. I ate it up. That night, I went home buzzing, like I just swallowed electricity. But by the next morning, my stomach was twisting. Because now the words weren't just in the air. They were real. My friends knew. And secrets don't stay secrets for long. Within a week, it was out. My best friend told her mom, who told my mom, who sat me down at the kitchen table with tears in her eyes. "Sweetie," she whispered, grabbing my hand, "you can tell me. I believe you." And I froze. That was the moment I could have stopped it. I could have laughed it off as a sick joke. I could have told her I lied. But the way she looked at me, so protective, so full of love, I couldn't let it go. So I nodded. I said yes. Yes, it was Mark. Yes, it happened. And that was it. The match hit the gasoline. My mom cut Sarah off immediately. Decades of friendship, gone overnight. She called the police. She called my grandparents. Suddenly, everyone was looking at me like I was this fragile porcelain doll. And Mark? He was blindsided. I remember the first time I saw him after. He showed up at our house, pounding on the door, demanding to talk. My mom screamed at him through the window to leave or she'd call the cops. He kept shouting, "This isn't true! I didn't do anything!" And I just stood there, shaking, not because I was scared of him, but because I was scared of myself. It didn't stop at family drama. It spread. Mark lost his job. He was a teacher, and the school couldn't ignore an accusation like that. Even without charges sticking, they put him on leave, then quietly let him go. Sarah left him, took the kids, and moved in with her sister. Their son, who used to play video games with me, posted on Facebook that his dad was a monster. And me? I was the hero. People brought me casseroles. My mom wouldn't let me walk alone at night. Teachers gave me extensions on my homework. For once, I was the center of the universe. But underneath, I was rotting. Every time someone hugged me and said, "You're so brave," my stomach turned. Every time I looked at Sarah's kids, I wanted to throw up. Because I knew the truth. And the truth was that I had burned an entire family to the ground with a single lie. The worst moment came 6 months later. There was a hearing, not a full trial. The police said there wasn't enough evidence to prosecute, but some kind of board meeting at the school to determine if Mark could ever teach again. I had to testify. I sat there in a chair, with adults staring at me, and I lied through my teeth. I cried on cue. I made my voice shake. I watched Mark across the table, pale and furious, shaking his head. And the board believed me. That day, they barred him from teaching forever. His career, 20 years in education, gone in an instant. When it was over, my mom hugged me and whispered, "You did the right thing." But in my head, all I could hear was his wife's voice, screaming at my mom in the parking lot. "You ruined us. You ruined my kids' lives." And she was right. Now, 4 years later, I'm 22, and the lie is still alive. My mom still treats me like a survivor. She goes to fundraisers, donates to shelters, talks about how proud she is of me for speaking out. Sometimes I catch her staring at me across the dinner table, her eyes shining with pride, and it makes me want to scream. Mark's gone. Last I heard, he moved 2 states away. He works some dead-end retail job now. His kids barely talk to him. His marriage is over. His reputation is ruined forever. And me? I'm stuck in this prison of my own making. I can't date without feeling like a fraud. I can't make new friends because I'm terrified they'll Google me and find old posts about what I survived. Every time I laugh with my mom, I remember that our entire bond is built on a lie. Sometimes I lie awake at night and imagine confessing, sitting her down and saying, "Mom, I made it all up." But what then? She'd hate me, everyone would, and Mark's life wouldn't magically be fixed. If anything, it would make things worse. So I keep quiet. People think lying is easy, that you just say something untrue and move on. But the truth is, a lie is alive. It grows. It spreads. It takes on a life of its own until you can't control it anymore. I thought I was just saying a few words at a sleepover. I didn't think about courtrooms, broken families, kids crying themselves to sleep because they think their dad is a predator. And now, I don't know who I am. Am I the villain who destroyed a man's life? Or am I just a stupid kid who made a mistake and can't fix it? If you're still watching this, drop a comment. I need to know what you'd do in my shoes. Would you confess now, or just carry it to the grave like I'm doing? Last month, I saw Sarah at the grocery store. She looked older, thinner, tired. She didn't see me, but I saw her. And she was holding hands with her daughter, the same girl who used to braid my hair at sleepovers. She was saying, "Don't worry, honey, we'll be okay." And I realized in that moment that they'll never really be okay. Not because of what Mark did, but because of what I did. So yeah, I lied about being assaulted. And the truth is, I don't even know how to live with myself anymore. By the way, if you're still here, hit that like button. Because I honestly don't know if saying this out loud makes me braver, or just makes me the worst person you've ever listened to. But it's my confession, and it's all I've got left.